What's good? What's good? I'm back, one and only Paul Masson, and we are live from Fayettenam. Another live from Fayettenam Friday, live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Tune in tomorrow for the music reviews. They'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Normally, I interview a lot of old school hip hop artists on here, and a few old school R&B artists like Lenny Williams, and we've had Melvin Riley, and recently we had Karen White. But we're gonna step into the blues and more into the jazz and the soul today. Our next guest got Song of the Day a few weeks ago on the music reviews with his song Blues by Candlelight. He has about 100 songs published, and he's an independent recording artist, guitarist, and songwriter whose music lives at the crossroads of blues, soul, rock, and jazz. Let's bring on the one and only Mojo Watson. Mojo,
Hey,
how you doing,
Paul.
man?
I'm doing well. It's good to be with you.
I'm glad you took the time out, man. Everybody gets songs of the day. I definitely try to offer them the interview because if you got good music and I like your music, then I definitely want to interview you. It's the people that I don't like their music that I'm not too, enthusiastic about. All right, so let's start here. Um, what first pulled you into blues and made you want to pick up the guitar?
Well, my dad was a blues musician for a short period of time when my siblings and I were
Well,
just small children, and he walked away from it so that he could concentrate on raising his family. And as I grew up in a household that featured, my folks played a lot of records by many different artists and many different types of music. And the blues is just kind of something that stayed with me. In fact, I think that the bigger draw to the blues for me is the fact that I feel that it's coursing through my veins, and it doesn't matter what I do outside of the blues. Everything tends to circle back to the blues for me.
so what were some of the artists from the blues that were basically pulling you into the blues?
Mostly the older artists, people such as Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Buddy
Okay.
Guy, B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, and most of the artists that are generally referred to as the Chicago blues-based artists. Those are the guys that I spent quite a bit of time listening to as I was learning to play guitar. And in fact, I still listen to those artists today.
Now, learning to play the guitar, especially blues style. I mean, how'd you go about that?
Well, for the most part, I'm self-taught. And the bigger thing for me when I was learning to play guitar, and something that
Okay.
still resonates with me, is a lot of people say that the blues is easy to play, but it's hard to feel. And I want you to feel what I'm playing.
Okay.
So my point of reference was certainly
Yeah.
the musicians that I listen to, but even in my own life, I have known the blues, and it's a good point of reference, my life's
Yeah.
experiences. And I try to make sure that when you come to see me, meaning you in general, people in general, you're going to walk away knowing and saying to yourself, that guy touched me. That guy could really play. He wasn't a lip syncer. He wasn't a pretender. He was the real deal, which is what I am.
You said something, think we lost you for a second. You still there?
I am. I am.
Okay. You said something that was interesting. You said it's easy to play the blues, but hard to feel it. I would think it'd be the other way around.
Well, To play is something that's learned. If you played an A note and I play an A note, they're not going to sound the same.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that yours would sound um, less resonant than mine, but they will just simply come out differently. And to play after a certain amount of time, it becomes sort of a rote activity. But in order to play where people feel what you're playing, you have to really reach inside of yourself and be honest with yourself. Therefore, that honesty can be relayed to the listener. That's what I was trying to
Hmm.
express.
Okay. Um, so your music making process, do you start with the lyrics or do you come up with your guitar riff first?
Well, for me, they they sort of go hand in hand, and it may come. I may be watching television and come up with a riff, or I could be walking down the street. I could see something, and the lyrics come. And when I go home or to a place where I can sit down and play, then I will put the music to that. So there's no established pattern for me, meaning my habit is not always to come up with a hook and then build a song around it. Sometimes I may see a woman that reminds me of um, a buffalo, right? So I'm not going to say that this woman looks like a buffalo, but I may name the song Buffalo Nickel, right? And go from there, right? Or I may be playing a tune, may come up with a
Yeah.
hook, and then I think, oh man, this song kind of puts me in the mindset of, this woman that I saw. So I'm going to put some lyrics to that. So it works both ways for me.
So I don't play instruments, so excuse me if I'm dumb on this one. Like I just don't know, and I'm just curious. Like when you're playing the blues, do you got to get like a special kind of guitar for that, or can you just play the blues on almost any guitar?
I think that, and I'm only speaking for myself, and there's no
Uh huh.
diminished question for me. You can ask me anything, but on any guitar, pretty much, I can play the blues. I would imagine
Yeah.
that if I played a guitar that
Okay.
had 8 strings and the tension was really tough, I would be able to play it anyway. If you give me a guitar that costs $25,
Yeah.
I'll make it sound good because it's coming from there, not from necessarily the instrument itself.
Yeah.
Although I would never perform in front of a group of people with a $25 guitar, but I could still make it sound good.
I don't doubt you on that, man. Because the song that got song of the day, I mean, I was really zoned out on the way you were playing that guitar. I mean, I think people don't appreciate the blues enough, especially on a mainstream scale. It almost feels like a underground music nowadays.
It has been underground for a good number of years, but I feel that it's making a resurgence, and namely because the true blues musicians never walked away from um, honing their craft, actually playing instruments and not going
Okay.
to full on electronica. And I think that because of where the world is at, um, with all of the strife
Mhm.
that we find ourselves immersed in, I think that more and more people are gravitating towards the blues. And I feel that the blues is making an honest resurgence, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. And we have to be honest in admitting that within the European theater, where I've played a lot, they never lost
Mhm.
their taste for the blues.
Okay.
It's always been going strong in Europe and other parts of the world
Yeah.
as well. You look at places like Japan, the blues is still a favorite art form there as well. But if we could get more Americans to start listening to more blues,
And
I
it's
think
like
that's
that
a
with,
good thing.
well, the same goes with hip hop. You know, hip hop is more appreciated overseas in Germany and Japan and France. Yeah, the American market just, like, they totally lose interest to a lot of the best sounding music, in my opinion. I feel like blues, like, if you wanted to argue blues is the best genre on the planet, I mean, I wouldn't even argue with you. It's just so unique. Not even just the way y'all play the guitars, but y'all's voices is it's unique.
Yeah, yeah. It is unique. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And yeah, it's a beautiful art form. In fact, the blues is truly an American art form. And it goes back further than that because I would imagine that even very old or ancient Africans would probably be walking down the beach playing a 12 bar blues. So these things travel, music travels, it traverses time itself. So the blues is special and it is spiritual as well.
What do you think is the biggest challenges that blues artists face today?
I think probably to the younger masses, I would think that it's probably an obscure art form. But I think that if somebody were to make a capital investment in more blues artists, then I think that you would see um, huge revenue streams starting to um, move in the direction of the blues in the United States. And I think that everything is cyclical. Um, One phrase that's often credited with King Solomon is that there's nothing new under the sun. And we can also say what goes around comes around. And I feel that the blues will be a very
Yeah,
popular
yeah.
art form if I have anything to do with it within the next couple of years.
How long you been making blues music?
I released my, oh man, I I started playing blues when I was a teenager, and I made my first recording, true recordings that I released in '99 on my own label. But I've certainly been playing the blues for a lot longer than that. So if you're looking for a definitive period of time, we're talking more than 40 years.
Now, do you think partially, um, I guess a obstacle that blues artists have to face nowadays, it feels like major labels don't really care about if the music is good. They just care about if it makes money, man. So they're never really signing the best quality music anymore.
Well, I think that the music industry has changed substantially. I think that if if you have a person or persons or an organization that was looking to invest in someone such as myself, then you'd only have to deal with me directly. And I think that that's how the music industry is now. And you can certainly correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that record companies make records anymore. I think that they seek out people that have made their own
They
records, that
don't.
have their own catalogs, and they
Yeah.
approach them and say, perhaps we can come to terms. And it's the same thing with the blues. If somebody were to come to me and say, hey, I won't have to make much of an investment in you because I won't have to make anything for you. You already have your own product. And because I am an owner, then they
Mhm.
could deal with me directly. There's no other middleman. There's no other person to clear anything in my catalog through. So if somebody came to me, as well as other blues musicians or musicians in other genres that have a substantial catalog, that have full ownership of their catalog, then they could help to promote the blues to make it more renowned and appreciated by more people. And like you said, nowadays, in fact, music has never been about who's talented, who's not talented, from the perspective of the person that is in
Mhm.
sort of a gatekeeper role. They've always decided, well, I can make more money off of
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
person. But now things have changed. Their profit margins
Yeah.
aren't going
That
to be
one.
the
Yeah.
same as they were in the 60s and 70s, even we could say the 90s. I mean, things have certainly changed. You're dealing with owners now. You're not dealing with people that are coming to you saying, I'd like for you to give me a loan to make a record. You're dealing with people now that come to you and say, I have made recordings on my own, so let's start from there. It's a completely different ball game now. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm open to correction, but I think that that's how the business is now.
No, you're right. I mean, they want to sign a finished product, already earning, already making money, already touring, which doesn't necessarily, equate to talent. It's just something that's making money. I think thing with blues artists, and I know a lot of other genres. I just think some people just get caught up only in making the music that they forget there's a lot of other things that go after that. And I think most musicians don't really know those things.
Well, it certainly takes time to figure it all out, but the information is out there. It's kind of
Yeah,
like we live in a world
it's
now
there.
whereby,
Yeah, it's there.
yeah, we live in a world now whereby if you're going to go into the music business, you need to know what you're getting yourself into. You wouldn't open a pizzeria if you didn't know how much the lease would be, how much the ingredients would be, how much your staff is going to cost you. So it would be a vital importance for a person going into this business to know as much as you can know about the business. Because it's like I
Yeah.
said, it's a completely different business. You don't have A&R guys going out to nightclubs to listen to people now to say, oh, we're going to sign this guy. No, they hear
Yeah.
something and they're hearing things through many different avenues now. And they make a decision and say, hey, let's approach this person. Let's see if we can come to terms and make something happen.
So, what's your process of getting shows?
I generally reach out to people and if they're within an immediate vicinity, I will actually go see them. If they're a long way
Mhm.
away, I will send them an electronic press kit. There have been times in my career where I've actually uh, gone out to other countries and just find out where the club is and try to make contacts with local radio so that that'll help to bring people through the door.
Mhm.
But that's generally how I do things. And you can, it's a two-way street. Sometimes you go to a club and they'll say, well, this is you work for the door or you will work for, a percentage of the bar. And then you've got people that say zany things to you like, you have to pay our sound man. And if you say to them, I've got my own sound man, they say, no, you still have to pay this guy money. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like those places you do like an exit stage right. It's like, I don't have time for that, but that's
Yeah.
pretty much my process. And that in and of itself is really difficult. And when you start thinking about a world tour, then you really need terrestrial radio. And that's kind of like
Yeah.
one of the last stops in my evolution. If I could afford terrestrial radio, then I could do everything myself. If I won the lottery, that would probably
Yeah.
be one of the avenues that I would explore because that would that would give me, a spotlight all around the world. And what do I need anybody else for? But life doesn't work that way. Everybody has to, wet their beak. So there you go.
And that's a big part of why the business is expensive because radio is so expensive. I mean, $30,000 is usually just like a starting point. and some people are putting 50,000, 100,000 in the radio. So it gets totally expensive.
It gets expensive, but you get the money
So,
back on the back end.
so you've taken an independent route in your career. Um, what's been the biggest challenges for you so far?
Exposure, exposure. That's been my biggest challenge. I I know fantastic musicians. I go into studios, I cut tracks live with other great musicians and get the songs mastered by the heaviest guys in the business, and then uh, market as much as I can. But I'm limited because I can't spend all my money marketing. I still have to leave money in the kitty to go back in the studio to record. So the biggest challenge, as I
Yeah.
said, for me is the exposure. But the smart businessman looks at somebody and says, "Well, they've already made these cars. I'm going to put up a little amount of money to help sell these cars, and I'm going to get a percentage off of these cars, even though I didn't have to invest any money in making these cars." So exposure is, I
Yeah.
think that's one of the greatest hurdles of anybody in this business.
Is it hard nowadays to find like bars or clubs or venues that play blues music?
No, no, because most of the
Okay.
bars and venues that I've dealt with, they play a variety of music. I think that you sort of pigeonhole yourself if you own an establishment and if you have the mindset, oh, we're only going to play
That
this
plays
type
one
of music,
genre, yeah.
right? So you need several different genres in
Yeah.
order to keep the doors open, so to speak. So yeah, people play the blues, and a lot of people say to me, you're not like the traditional blues guy, because the blues guys never made any money, and they made records for other people, but times have changed. I'm the new model for the blues.
Yeah.
We're independent, and we're just looking for people to partner with us.
Yeah.
And sometimes trying to get exposure, trying to find people to partner with, that can give you the blues too.
So, if you could jam with any blues legend from the past, you pick one, who would it be?
Buddy Guy,
Buddy Guy?
Buddy Guy,
Why? Why Buddy Guy?
because he's one of
I'm
the
not too
best
familiar with
guitar
him, I
players
don't
that
think.
I've.
So kind of school me.
Yeah, Buddy Guy played with Muddy Waters. Buddy Guy has been a
Okay.
front man for his own work for many years now, and he is one of the absolute finest and best guitarists ever. In fact, I read a book about Jimi Hendrix years ago, and he said that whenever he was playing someplace, in any particular city or town, if he heard that Buddy Guy was playing, he would go listen to him first before he went and did his own gig. And I'm pretty much the same way. If I'm anywhere and Buddy Guy is playing, I'm going to see Buddy Guy. He's that good.
Is he still alive?
He is. In fact, he was in the film recently, Sinners. So if you get a chance to see that film, then you will
Oh,
see
okay. I haven't
cameo
fully seen
appearance
that.
of Buddy Guy. Yeah, it's a great film.
Did you ever watch that movie Cadillac Records?
I did. I thought that was a great film as well.
Do you think it was pretty accurate?
Based on my knowledge of that era, I would say that it was probably correct with respect to the era, but as far as the events are concerned, I'm just a viewer. I can't vouch for anything that happened in that film, although I think that the writing was creative as well as the cinematography.
Yeah.
But I think for that era, I think that they depicted it correctly.
How important is a guy like Muddy Waters? I mean, because in that movie, the guy that was running the label, um, there was parts where he would tell the accountant, move some, take money from Howlin' Wolf's money, move it over to Muddy's, because Muddy wasn't like making music at the time, but that was his guy. Like, so he always kept him fed. It seemed like.
Yeah, Muddy Waters is very important to the whole lexicon of modern blues from the the 1950s on up to today. And recently, I saw a documentary about Muddy Waters. Apparently, he was paid for each recording that he made, but he was never paid any royalties in his lifetime. And apparently, his family never received any
Man.
royalties. And that's one of the great travesties of blues and jazz music in the United States. A lot of those guys never were compensated for the materials that they created that would eventually enrich a few people multi generationally. So that
Mhm.
kind of sticks in my craw. The fact that he didn't get paid, and a lot of those people didn't get paid. But Muddy Waters is certainly one of the kings of the blues. Excellent writer, excellent voice, and
That
also a great player.
Yeah, that seems like a common occurrence in the music industry where, especially back in the early days when nobody really knew how the business was going. I mean, everybody was getting jerked left or right. I remember I interviewed Lenny Williams, and he said he was at some guy's house and was trying to hit on this white chick, and she ended up talking about publishing. He didn't know nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? And that whole conversation basically just became about publishing. And after that, he got his publishing. I remember he said Kanye West, when he sampled his record, he was like, shit, I moved my bed out to the mailbox because the checks was coming in like crazy.
Yeah, that's an important aspect of music publishing as well as ownership. You know, Paul, I'm sure that you're aware of the fact that
Yeah.
if you're born with an idea or a song, you own that. That's yours. That's a part of you. Now you have a choice.
Yeah.
You can give it away, you can lease it, or you can outright sell it. But in today's modern world, we shouldn't be hearing
Hmm.
stories that are sort of muddy waters esque, meaning the artist is not getting paid. Because if if you're producing your own content now, why would you not be getting paid? That makes no sense at all. In
Hmm.
fact, that's not good business.
You said something interesting though, the leasing part. So I interview a lot of bare knuckle fighters, and Conor McGregor, he's one of the owners over there, and he's actually just signed Exhibit and Bone, and that's the new thing that he's kind of doing, where he just leases the music for like whatever time frame, and they own all the publishing, and the masters. And I think like that's really a good way for artists to do. They make whatever money they can off of it, and then once it's that time frame over, that's it. They can't do nothing more with it.
Yeah, that's one of the pillars of ownership. Once you lease, like you said, you set a term and you set a value associated with the music and the term. And once the term is over, then you're able to enter into either an exclusive or a non-exclusive deal with another party. So leasing is a beautiful thing. It ensures a steady income stream.
Blues by Candlelight, that got song of the day. So
Can you repeat that, Paul? You broke up a little.
Bl- on Blues by Candlelight record. Like, how did you come up with that record? Like, do you remember what you were doing at the time?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about the obscurity of the blues, and I said, "Yeah, the blues is so scarce now. You need a candlelight to find it." So uh, that's where the idea came from. So it's like it's so hard to
Yeah.
find. It's like you need a candle to search it out. So that's where it came from.
That makes a lot of sense. That's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if you watched the music reviews when I reviewed this song. I think the next week I would say like, "Yo, you," because you have these artists. I don't call them musicians, just people who just sing or rap. And I always say that you give me a guy that's playing a blues guitar and he can sing. I'm never gonna pick the rap song or just the
Yeah.
singer
Well,
because just the musicianship of the blues is like it's crazy, yo.
I appreciated that, Paul. And in fact, I did see that, and I was in Kansas City at the time, and I was with my wife and my sister and my mom, and we watched your review, so it was great. They began to realize that I'm doing something.
Nah, it's good. It was really good music, man. And
Thank
people have
you.
always called me biased on my podcast before, saying I'm biased towards hip hop or R&B, but I'm biased towards good music. That's how I look at it. I don't care if it's a good reggae song, a good Afrobeat song, blues, jazz, rock, hip hop, R&B, whatever. I just want to hear good music. That's all. Good music.
I'm I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. In fact, my tastes are quite varied. I like classical music. I like old school country music, and I can listen to anything. If it's good, it's good. I've even heard some death metal songs that I thought that's really good. So I don't discriminate as far as music goes. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
Yeah, I get thousands of death metal submissions. It's actually the number one genre submission I get. It's just crazy how many death metal groups are out there. It's rare to, like you say, it's rare that I get a blues record. It's rare.
I'll keep sending them to you.
Yeah, please do, man. Because we got these guys, Gary Ramsey and Wanting Habits. They've been kind of sending songs every week and trying to rack up song of the day almost every week. So we need somebody to kind of compete with them guys because they've been competing with each other the last few weeks. And it's like, yo, man, a lot of these other musicians, they got to step it up, man, especially with AI. What's your feeling about AI? Because AI is going to put some people out of business.
My thinking is somebody very near and dear to me sent me a song, and they said, I want you to check this out. It's an AI song, and I think that AI will put a lot of people out of business in a lot of other disciplines, uh,
Okay.
corporate in the corporate world. But as far as music goes, in my opinion, it sounds very bland. Music has
Okay.
to make you move. Music has to invoke feeling. And for many years, I worked in the aviation industry, working with computers, and
Okay.
AI generated music is bland. It has no feeling. And a computer, no matter how good it is, I've yet to be convinced that it is able to convey emotions in music. It just sounds like something that was sort of cookie cutter put together. It doesn't sound natural to
But
me.
don't you think nowadays that there is a lot of human music that's very bland?
Well, I could say that generally without bagging anybody in particular, but a lot of it
Yeah.
is nowadays it's really bad, and a lot of it I question if it's really music, if you can dig where I'm coming from.
No, I do. I totally dig. Totally dig. Like, I don't call modern day rap music. I don't. I think out of all the genres on the planet right now, it is not going to age well because it's this trap and drill. Like, I mean, I can't, I'm 46. I'm like, I mean, I'm a young buck still, but I can't imagine being 60 years old listening to trap music and drill music.
Yeah, I
It's
think that
crazy.
a lot of the music that they're putting out now, it will have a very short shelf life. In fact, it will never be on an oldies but goodies station, even 50 years from now, because it has a very short and soon approaching expiration date. You can listen to music, you can put on an Elvis Presley song, and it still sounds good in
Okay.
2026. You can put on a Frank Sinatra song. It still sounds good in 2026. You could put on a Howlin' Wolf song in 2026. It still sounds good. And 10 years from now, those songs will still sound good. But a lot of the music, like what you
Yeah.
made reference to, 5 years from now, it'll be gone. It'll be like a mirage. You
Yeah.
saw it,
Because if
but
you put on
you
that
didn't
Lenny
really see it.
Williams, what's that Lenny Williams song? That I love you. That I
I know the
mean,
one you're talking about. Yeah, that's always going to be good.
I think the yeah. I love you. Yeah, every time you hear it, man, it's like I think even when new younger generation people hear that, they instantly like it, and they probably feel like they actually know the record even more than they do because it's so good. It's that good of a record.
Yeah, it's good music.
I'm of a mindset that the 60s and 70s, I'm of the mindset 60s and 70s was probably like the best eras of music in my opinion.
I would start earlier than that. I would say from the 40s to the late 70s, all that
Earlier,
music was good
40s,
because
okay.
it, remember in the 40s, you went into a room and you had to cut a record live, right? So you had one microphone hanging from the ceiling. You positioned the musicians so that because you weren't able really to mix the song very well. So you had to audibly mix the song. So you tell the bass player, you get over there, the drummer, you're over there, the singer, you come up here. So that's what made that is one of the things that made that music so fantastic. And remember too, in the time period that we're talking about, and I started a little earlier than you had to be good. Look at some of the movies from the 40s, the
Yeah.
50s. You had to be good. In the 60s and 70s, you had to be good. But I'm afraid that a lot of the people in that time period that I mentioned from the 40s to the late 70s, if they were coming along now, you would never hear of them. If the Beatles had to depend on social
Mhm.
media and relative obscurity, you wouldn't hear of them nowadays if they came out now. If Jimi Hendrix came out now, you wouldn't hear of him. It doesn't matter how exceptional the talent is in today's music business. More often than not, unless you're able to enter into a really good venture, something that works for the artist as well as the person that's putting up the capital, you're lucky in that regards because today that's not going to get you anywhere. And like I said, a lot of those people that we grew up listening to and that we still listen to in 2026, if they were just hitting the market now, you'd never hear of them. Certainly, some people would challenge that and
So,
say, oh, no, they
do
were
you
so
think that would
good
have
that you hear of them. But no, you wouldn't.
yeah, yeah. So, do you think that would have went for my top 3 musicians of all time? Because like, I'm a little, I'm younger, so I'm a Michael Jackson first, Prince second, and my third favorite musician was Kurt Cobain. So you think that would the same thing for those guys? Probably too.
Yeah. I like I said, if somebody
Okay.
heard them and somebody said, I'm going to revitalize, remember the people that you mentioned, let's hypothetically say we hadn't heard of those people and they just come on the scene in
Yeah.
2026 or 2025. Each one of the people that you named, Kurt Cobain, awesome artist, nice voice, he could play well. Prince, multi-instrumentalist, a very nice vocalist. Michael Jackson, all-around entertainer. Name two
Yeah.
people that have come along in the last 10 years that people are talking about still. Who's new now? If I were to say to you, Paul, who's out there right now that's really raising Cain? Who would you tell? What name would be the first name that came to mind that you would say, when that person comes to my town, I want to go see that person? Not a lot of folks come to mind, do they?
Well, there's not a lot of folks that make me do that nowadays, anyways. But when I think of like, I mean, based off your question, like guys who for 10 years straight, I can only think of hip hop guys right now, really. I can't really
Absolutely.
think of like people outside of hip hop that for the last 10, 15 years, they've been talking about him over and over. People try to say Chris Brown was the next Michael Jackson, but he's a very talented guy, but it's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, Drake has had a really great career. Drake has had a really great career. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not running to go to a Drake concert. I'm not running.
And
I'm
don't get
not
me
doing
wrong,
it.
I think that, perhaps those artists may have broken through, but it would have taken a visionary in the modern world to look at somebody as talented as those people were to say, I'm going to put some money behind this person because I think that I can really help this person to break through. And I think that the world would really enjoy that person. But in fairness, who's coming out now that some person that is sitting on a lot of money wants to be in the music business and they say, I'm going to promote this guy, especially somebody that plays an instrument nowadays? How many of those guys? We know of guys, but we don't see them on the Jimmy Fallon show. We don't see them on any late night show like back in the day when people would come on these shows and they would perform. We don't see that anymore. What we see on TV nowadays, if you look at Saturday
You
Night
know who I
Live,
really like,
right?
but he doesn't fit the mold. Uh huh.
No, I was just going to say, if you look at Saturday Night Live, when I was growing
Okay.
up, we looked at Saturday Night Live for the entertainment, but look at the entertainment that Saturday Night Live has on now. They aren't people that you watch Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live and you walk away and you're like, wow, that group was awesome. But back in the day on Saturday Night Live, whenever the musical guests would come on, they were always good. You would always say, oh man, they were really good, That was a great performance. But now it's like you're looking at it for the skits.
You familiar with You familiar with Anderson Paak?
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's actually he's like an R&B guy who plays the drums, and I think he plays the guitar as well. He did an album with Bruno Mars, and it had a really really good soulful sound to it. He's one of the guys that, like you said, there's not a lot of guys I see or gals that playing instruments and while they're making music. Everybody's just going to producers and just getting beats nowadays.
It's funny you should mention Bruno Mars because Bruno Mars was the
I
last
don't know,
one.
man.
Bruno Mars was the last one that came out with a band. If you think about it, that was in the modern era. But since
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, who else has come out?
Nobody. Nobody. I don't know, man. The
And
music
that's where the
is
money is,
just it's
Paul.
not the same no more
Yeah,
whatsoever.
that's where the
No,
money
yeah,
is,
yeah.
Paul. If somebody gets behind somebody that's a fantastic musician and they have a really tight band, they would make a fortune because people are dying for something like that now.
Well, and that's why cover bands have always been good to go because they can always play, mainstream music from, you got the cover band, whatever it be, Metallica cover band, Guns N' Roses cover bands or whatever. It's so easy for them guys to get shows and they don't even play their own music.
Oh, I know. They're a cover band of somebody or a group that used to be, but like you said, as far as new music, new talent, someone that the folks haven't seen before, I think that the entertainment group or the individual that makes an investment in an artist that is dynamic, that's talented, they're going to run the table nowadays because they have no competition.
Yeah. Is that the hard part though? Is finding the person that's willing to invest, not solely just because they want to make money off of this situation, but that they truly believe that the artist or the music just has this great potential to just break through like a lot of artists are not doing nowadays.
Yeah, I think that I think that like anything else in business, I think that if you become aware of somebody and you're in the entertainment business and you
Hmm.
think, not only will I make money off of the recordings that this person has made, but also the bulk of the money that I'm going to make off of this person is in their live performances. And if you've got somebody that can perform
Yeah.
live and they're good, who's your competition today?
Not a lot. The performances are even worse nowadays.
Exactly. You
When
don't
you
even
get
have
into
to
some
believe in
genres, they
somebody.
literally sing and rap over the song. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I believe that most
We
people
about to be hitting
steal
this
from.
hour mark, and I like
Okay.
talking to you. I probably could talk to you all night. So we're gonna have to wrap it up here soon because Instagram will try to kick you off if you're on too long and stuff like that. But you sent a new song. Tell me about this new song. We're gonna review it tomorrow. But what can you
Okay.
tell me about it?
This new song, the title of it is Standing at the Crossroads. It was initially released by um, gosh, now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of the guy's name, and that's terrible. But it's a blues cover from the 1950s. In fact, the song came out in 1954,
Okay.
and I changed the music. I sped up the music, and I
Okay.
really like my version of it. My version is more akin to a live Mojo Watson show, so it's uh, it's something that I'm very happy with.
What is it with blues and the crossroads? Because they had that movie Crossroads that was all about the blues with
Yeah,
Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid.
yeah. It just came back to my mind. Elmore James is the person that penned the song "Standing at the Crossroads," and his was uh, his song is also credited with another person
Oh,
that
man,
was
we
a
lost
music
him for a
business
second.
titan.
Sorry, but I think we had a little lag. I couldn't hear what you said, man.
Oh, that's fine. Elmore James actually penned the song "Standing at the Crossroads" along with music business titan Joe Beharry. And to hone in on your question about the
Okay.
crossroads and the blues, it's because uh, old folklore is that a lot of blues artists went down to the crossroads to make a deal with the devil so that they would have fame. And but if they were smart, they would have asked for fortune as well. But that's one of the backstories of the blues and some blues artists going to a magical crossroads so that they could do a
Okay.
deal in order to gain these things like fame and fortune and actually some of them
Yeah.
to play better too.
That's what that movie was about. Cause he was trying to get back to the crossroad where he made the deal before.
Yeah, he wanted to back out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Damn. That's that's crazy. So that's a real thing in the blues. That is so interesting.
For some folks, I
I
should
thought it was
qualify
just,
that and
I
say
thought
some
it was just a
folks.
movie thing. I didn't know that that was a real thing.
Yeah, for some folks.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a folklore, but I didn't know that was like a real folklore kind of thing in the blues. Like that is a real thing. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that movie again now.
But to be clear, Paul, I've never been to the crossroads for that purpose.
Okay. Before we let you go, any shout outs you might want to do?
No, I mostly I'd like to shout out to everybody that has supported me for all the time that I've been in this business and for all future folks that may come my way. I'm most appreciative of that. And life is good. Life is great. And I'm certainly appreciative to you. And I thank you for having me on your podcast. I truly mean that.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime. You're an interesting dude. I feel like I could talk to you all night about music, man. I really do.
Likewise.
Really do. Yeah, sometimes the interviews don't be interesting. I mean, sometimes it's I ain't gonna lie, it be dull and boring, but I mean, so much. I could tell you like really a big on the history of the music as well. I could definitely tell that.
Yeah, the past informs the present as well as the future.
We just need to tell this young generation that.
I'll do my part.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a nice night. We're gonna review your music tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll send you the link if you want to tune in if you have time,
Please do.
and
I'll make
please keep
time.
sending them.
Okay, I'll make time. And you have a good evening as
That's
well. And nice to meet you.
you too, and I'm gonna make sure I clip up some clips, and we're gonna post them to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, and hopefully help get your name out there as well.
Merci, mon ami.
You have a nice night, Mojo.
You too, Paul. Take care of yourself.
All right, peace. Well, there you have it. Mojo Watson definitely knows more blues than I'll ever know. And I know a lot of people think I'm like always biased towards hip hop. Yes, I'm a hip hop artist. I do love hip hop, but just so y'all know, before I listen to hip hop, I listen to other genres, you know, before I even got into hip hop. I was definitely big on rock a lot as a kid, but something about the blues, man, it's just hearing somebody play those guitars on the blues and just you could just vibe out and zone out to the guitar alone and just the vocals that a lot of blues singers have like Mojo Watson. They're just unique. It's just different, and it's just something about the blues, man. Um, it, I mean, Like, if you like great music, good music, I mean, the blues is at the top, dude. It could be probably the best genre on the planet. And like I said, if I'm doing music reviews and you just rapping and singing, and I got Mojo Watson over here with the killing the guitar and he's singing good as hell on the song, you don't stand a chance, man. You don't stand a chance. And I need to actually get more acquainted on my history of the blues and just go back and listen to a lot of more artists from the blues and just study it more. It's just a really great genre, man. It really is. Um, when I think of just all the genres in music, blues is really great. I mean, pop's cool, but it's pop. Rock, I mean, rock back in the days is a lot better, but it's not like the blues, man. Not like the blues. And I could definitely go for some good R&B and soul, especially from the 60s and 70s. Big on Marvin Gaye's of the world, a big Commodores fan as a kid. Definitely had mad love for Lionel Richie. And there's no hip hop probably without the blues. Like, that's the thing. Hip hop, early in hip hop, we were sampling blues music, rock music, jazz music, soul music, R&B music. So there is no hip hop without the blues, brothers. We about to wrap it up. We hit that hour mark. We should get a lot of good clips out of this. Tomorrow's music reviews, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got about 17, 18 songs. Hopefully, it's a lot of good songs tomorrow. I hate giving people yay. And now some of these songs that are coming in are not, they're so bad, man. We gotta flush them sometimes, man. Like, y'all got me flushing songs, man, because you know I guess I ain't getting enough blues submissions. I don't know what it is. All right, we about to wrap it up. We about to hit y'all with that outro. And don't forget, I also got the other podcast. If you like combat sports, bare knuckle, go check out the Paul Pickett podcast. I done had 3 bare knuckle fight interviews this last week. So follow me on all platforms out there as well. And shouts out to Mojo Watson. Interesting guy. Definitely intelligent. Uh some of those words he was using, I probably got to go look up the dictionary to find the meaning of them. Dude was definitely intelligent. Very, very intelligent guy. I'm just a C average student, so all right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace, and I'm out.